Hello, all my crafty friends. NanaKaye here with NanaKayeDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook on Etsy.com. Today we are going to work on more of the tips and tricks of prepping journal cards and things for your stash to have available when you are ready to put a journal together. It is so much easier to have these things right here above you or somewhere close by, prepped and ready to go. Like these tags, these hidden tags, I've got them ready. They just got to be designed a little bit. I've got my ephemera, some of my ephemera up here. I've got envelopes up here, and I've got different pieces of clip art and things that I would use normally on a day-to-day basis. Up here in front of me, also right on my desk, I have fussy cut flowers. I have some variety, a little bit different clip art. I've got just little what I call stack shapes. This is just little pieces that I would use to make a stack design. Then, of course, I do have some die cuts to my left and behind me. I've just got everything kind of close by so that I can just grab and make these. It does take me a little longer when I'm doing a video to do one card or whatever, so please note that it does do that because I'm explaining to you everything I'm doing. When I'm doing this on a mass production, I can just whip them out in just a few minutes each one because I don't have to put a lot of thought in it. But let me show you what we're going to kind of go over. I'm going to show you today, hopefully we'll get through 4 designs and we may not, but I'm at least going to get through some of them. And then at the end of the video, I will show all the ones I've done off camera and let you see some of the designs I've done and different elements I've put on them. This is my 5th take. I've had children all day, and every time I started to do a video for you guys, one of my kids interrupted. My 2-year-old needed something, so I have just laid the law down to my whole family to keep out of my shop. So we'll see how well that goes. Unless it's an emergency, hopefully I won't have a problem. Now also over here to my left, I have a few other of my utensils that I use. I do keep wipes at my desk at all times. I'm going to stay right here to my side. I keep wipes at my desk at all times because I am also going to possibly be using some stamps in these designs. I did use some right here in this particular one. These are all made from 2 sizes of recipe cards. So this is the cards I've made using these 2 sizes. This is the variety I've got now of the cards so far. I can do more, and I do have a video, older video of where I have used the recipe cards to make some inserts for my journals. If you're interested in it, don't miss it. It's in my playlist. Go look for it, okay? So what we're going to do today, I think we're going to start with just a basic card layout first. So I'm going to set these up here in front of me, and let's start with the largest one. This one here is made with what we call the dividers. I have much less of these, much less of the size than any other size. And I may, if I start running low on these, I may get me a template out and make it, because I really like, make me a template out of some hard cardstock. But the whole reason I am using this, again, is because we are trying to do a realistic junk journal, true to form junk journal, which is using the stuff that I have already printed and laying around and old 12x12 sheets. I'm trying to use all my old supply up because I don't need to buy anything else. I need to downsize a little bit. I'm trying to use it up. So I'm going to try to use these up, and this is also saving me. If you're living in the United States, well, if you're living anywhere in the world, economics are pretty rough right now. Economies are rough. But in the United States, our economy has gone, it's just gone haywire, and I'm having to save. I'm using it very expensive brochure paper to do most of my printing on. That I do a lot of my printing on. It's a 28 to 32 pound high quality professional grade brochure paper. But I like that because my journals, I want them to be nice, and this paper has a nice smooth feel to it. So I'm trying to save money on cardstock. It's also gone out of this world price-wise. And this is a great, heavy heavy piece of card, and by the time you've added 2 more layers to it, this is what you get, a really good sturdy journaling card. I love it. Okay, so let's start with this size here, the larger size, and let's start with just a basic card that flips over, and that's all. All right, now what am I going to be using today is the next question to cover these. Well, what I'm going to use today on film are kit pages from a company or a lady who goes by the name of Screech Owl Studio. I've got several of her kits printed, one nautical. I've had several of the garden ones printed. This is one of the garden ones printed, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to be using her journal pages to make my journal cards today. I am also using the vintage photo as my inking around the edges to give it a more antique look. So that's where we're going to start today. Now, her journal pages have borders on them. So my first step, of course, in this is I've got to cut off the border. I don't need the border on it. We want a nice, clean design. I am trying to cut it as straight as possible. That doesn't always happen, and I am going to try to stay in the video frame, guys. That doesn't always happen, as you're most likely well aware of, too. All right, so first step. Now, I do say it is a good idea to have a coarse grade sanding sponge. That's what this is. It's a sanding sponge. You can buy it at any Lowe's, not Office Depot, the other one, Lowe's, and the one that's Depot. Anyway, Home Depot. Walmart has them. Anywhere that you can get hardware type items, paints and things, you can find these sanding blocks. I use the sanding block simply to actually just rough up this card a little. It does scratch off the photo a little, but the reason I do this is because, these cards are made to use in the kitchen, and they're made so that if you have to wipe them off, you can. But we don't want our glue to wipe off, so we're going to rough the card up a little bit on both sides. Even though that's a blank side, I'm still going to rough it up just a little. I don't think it's quite well. It is slick feeling. And if I'm shaking my camera, please excuse me. I'm trying not to. But that's my first step. And I don't always do that because I use Berry Arts glue, and I really don't have much problem with Berry Arts glue sticking to pretty much everything. So let's start with the card itself. We are going to actually put glue all the way over the whole front of this card, and I do pretty heavily glue the card because I do not want my overlay to come off this card. So I do take a few minutes or a few seconds. It's really not, well, it might be a minute, I don't know, but as you see, I just kind of go over and over and over and over, back and forth. I do put a definitely somewhat heavy coating of glue on the front. Then I'll look at my card, my paper that I'm going to put on, and I decide what I want to really show up on this card. So I think I'm going to start in this bottom corner, and I'm going to line it up around on that edge there, and as close to that bottom as I can get. And hopefully it's pretty straight. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over. And then I'm going to take my trusty tool here, which is a standard paint scraper, and I am going to press all the air from behind, squeezing that glue, spreading that glue, forcing it into the grooves where we just sanded out so that we get a good, strong hold on that card, that front cover. Then I am going to do the obvious. I'm going to come in and right along the edge. I'm going to clean up the scissors a few bit. I'm going to go right along this edge here and cut off these pieces right here. We don't want them. So that we can get this back to the same size. And I'm trying not to cut into the thing, but I'm trying to get all the excess off that edge. But I'm trying not to cut into the card. All right, I'm going to look at my 2 strips, and I can use this somewhere else, a pocket or something, and I can actually use this in my stack shape, so I'm going to put that in my stack shape box right there on the front. Okay, now, this is already starting to get a good thickness to it. And I use this particular punch here to do my corners. So I'm going to go ahead and punch. Even though we're going to put something on the back of this, I am going to go ahead and punch these original corners so that I don't have so much thickness to deal with when I start, well, when I have to do the back side. I will have to punch one more time, but it's just a step I have found that's a lot easier for me to do. All right, so we've got that there. Now let's go ahead and get the back on. The next step is to decide what I want on my back for my lines, and I want my line paper, and I've stuck some line paper in the wrong box up here. So bear with me just a second. I need to move it. I can't decide. I think this is the color I want to do on this particular card. I really printed this for a nautical design, but that's okay. We're going to use it. It's line print, so it really doesn't matter. What matters to me as a designer is that my cards have some kind of a very distinguishable journaling spot, and this is what we're going to see right here. By adding these lines to the back, it is just obvious that is a journaling spot. We are making journals. Therefore, people should be writing in them, and so therefore, as a designer, it is my goal to make sure that I give them as many possible writing spots as I can. So let's get this card done. And I'll just choose what I want. So we'll go, and this don't have to be so precise. Just around that, try to make sure you get it on the edge. Make sure you go at the bottom. A lot of times I will do this before I actually really press down, and I'll just kind of make sure the card taps down to that table. Okay, and then again, we are going to go, after I push this just a tiny, and if it's already glued and it has, it's already grabbed, we will go ahead and press the air out, press the glue into the card itself, making a good seal so that we have a good permanent card here. No mess. All right, then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to cut right along that edge. Here, preserving as much of my paper as I can because this is my own line paper and I don't want to have to print a whole lot more. Okay, so there that is. Put my piece away. And again, before I do anything else, I'm going to try to dry this one more time, keeping it flat on the board. And so now I've got a nice flat thick card. I've got to get these last edges pulled out. So we're going to do that one more time. Punching the edges, getting a nice clean edge. Got to make sure I center it. Okay. All right, you got a little, for me, another thing that I sometimes do to give this a more distressed look, I will take my standing block, and sometimes I will sand these edges like this. It kind of gives it a more distressed look. And then I'm going to ink it. That's just an option, but if you see, it's pulling some of that print out. And I just like that look. Especially these cards that I'm doing, because these cards are going to go into the series. We're working on a series now on NanaKaye Turn to a True Junk Journal. And these cards will probably go in pages just for grabs to go in that. All right, so now let's grab our ink here. And let's do a good inking all the way around. Start getting that vintage stain look. That's what we're trying to do. We want a vintagey look here. Like they've been sitting in a drawer somewhere and they picked up some stains. Okay. And I may do a little in here when I got one this light, just kind of plunge it up a little in there. Not necessary, but that's just what I do. I also turn it over and do the back to get a good blended look all the way around for the card. This is a simple card. As you see, we're just breezing right through it. The next step takes a little longer because it's a matter of looking through my clip art and stuff to do what I'm going to do next. I'm going to move these aside for a minute. Okay. All right, so now I have to decide what I want to do. I really want some word. I like wording on here. And in front of me here, I don't think what I do, I have this. I have some words. I like wording. I like to use that. And I'm going to take my tear ruler that has a tear edge on it. I think I'm going to tear it, and I'm not going to make any promises because I'm not real good at this. I watch other people and they just tear it right on up and it just comes on off for them. Me, it just slips and slides with. I guess I'm not holding it down enough, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to tear me some edge in here. I don't need all this excess. These tiny pieces, I am not even going to try to save. I've got so much book page. Okay, up again, tear it. Got that one. I don't want it really wide. I'll make sure the bottom's torn off a little. Okay, that looks kind of torn and tattered. And let's tear some more off the top. Put my ruler back up. I'll try to keep my desk as clear as I possibly can. I'm a messy crafter, guys, and I am not going to apologize for it. That's just who I am. So I am making a conscientious effort to keep the desk a little cleaner. All right, so let's see. I don't want to cover that. So to get my print on, I'm going to have to tear a little bit more off. Tear a little bit more off. And this is a process. You just keep going till you get it the size you want it. And I think that's about what I want in wording. And I do want to grunge it a little on the edges. But this is a very old book that I got this from. And I'm not sure how much ink I can get on it without tearing the page. But I can grunge it up some. Okay, and we're just going to do it right on that. Oh, yes, we're going to just go ahead and grunge the map up along with the piece. Okay, now, what is my remedy for not getting this everywhere else is exactly what I told you. Have some wipes available. Really quickly, I'm going to grab one, make sure it's not on any of my printed stuff, and I'm just going to wipe that ink back off that I just did and possibly some glue from the prior time. Okay, I wish I don't have my washcloth handy. I do have a drying cloth that I use. Dry my desk a little bit. Now there again, it is just a process, guys. As you see, I'm still pulling ink up, but that's okay. Got most of it up. Just enough that I'm not going to mess my card up. All right, and we're going to glue the back of this. Especially the edges. Want them edges down. We want that beautiful print down. Okay. Go here. And if you notice, I had torn it just a little bit, but by the time I put that down there, it didn't affect it any whatsoever. Okay, so there's a piece of text. I like text in my cards. I think it makes a big difference. Okay, and then let's look in our stack and see if there's anything else that we want to use on this piece, giving us some kind of a stack look of some kind. On the side, I kind of like that. I don't want to cover that up. Okay. All right, let's just find a flower. A piece of clip art. Okay, we're going to start in this box here. It's a white rose, and I really don't think I have anything that's going to match a white rose. But I do have some odd clip art pieces like this. And I have a piece like this, which could go on the print. I kind of like that. Kind of like it on that print. I kind of like that. Okay. Going to go with that. And again, I am going to grunge this up, but this time so that I don't have to wipe my mat again, I'm going to grab one of my index cards over here and lay this down, and we're going to grunge up where it's kind of white, really kind of sticks out and grabs you here. I'm going to go in and kind of pull out some of that white just by grunging these edges up. I am not going to make it any thicker because I'm just going to paste this black down real easily. Keep my card because I'm going to probably grunge some more stuff. And I am actually going to lay that right there, which I like. Okay, so let's just glue it. We're not going to mess around. We're not going to try to give it a whole lot of thought. We're just not going to try to give it a lot of thought. That's what takes up my time when I'm trying to give it too much thought. We're going to go with it. And most of the time, it ends up looking just fine. All right, next thing, I'm going to reach up here and I'm going to grab some word art, and I'm going to grab my butterfly box. As I said, my stuff is really close at hand. So let's see what we got. Well, since we are creating, that is a good saying today. We got dream. That's a good word art, but let's see what we got in some quotes. Let's see. I don't want anything major, great, big. Beautiful. What's that one say? Beautiful branches. I'm not crazy about that. And I think what I want something to go close to the top. So I don't have any bees right handy. Bestow, joy. This is what takes the longest for me, guys. It's deciding what these last two things, deciding what I'm going to put on it. Count your blessings. I like that. And I like this one. Bloom where you are planted. I like that. Oh my goodness, did y'all just see what I just did? I just ripped a bunch of my labels out all over my desk. And I just got through saying I was going to try to keep my desk clean. And did you see what I just did? But that's okay. We're going to grab them, throw them back in the box, and go on about our business. Let's put you back in your little hubby hole where you belong. It's pointing to go. I'm still in the butterflies. All right, let's don't fight with it. All right, I like bloom where you are planted. Unfortunately, that covers up a lot of that rose. I don't really like that. But I got to have something, so we'll put that there in a butterfly, and I think we'll go with it. Or maybe we could just go, I could go middle way. That wouldn't be so bad, middle way. I see a little excess white here sticking out. And I think I want to make this a little more, when you touch and feel it, a little thicker. So what I'm going to do is make this a little thicker by using a piece of index card. And what I do to make it thicker, what I call adding plies to the thickness. I don't know what the true term is, but NanaKaye calls it adding plies. So this is going to be a 2-ply addition to that piece of label there. Okay, so I've mashed it down. Okay, I've glued the two pieces together like that. Cut this excess off. We don't need all of it. I'm going to lay this back. I'm going to do the edges first. Again, these are printed with a 28-pound cardstock. I'm not cardstock, 28-pound brochure paper. So they got a beautiful, smooth texture to them. And then we're going to glue that one down. Now, you do have an option here, too. Once you cut this out, and I'll show you a little option. I'm not going to do it because I just want simple designs today. I don't want to get real intricate and fancy. What I'm trying to do really is just show people who are just starting that you don't have to have a lot of experience to do what I do. I don't have a lot of experience. A lot of my stuff has come from watching others. And because we are rounding everything, I am going to round this corner on my label. Okay. All right, now it's 2-ply thick. So now when you actually have this on the sheet here, you feel some texture. And I am going to, I think, I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to leave it on there. I was going to do a little overhang, but I've got one like that I'll show you later at the end of the video. But I'm going to put that right there so I'm able to have a feel of something there. I just think the more things that you have that are interactive, the better. However, something else you could do, when you're putting this down, you could glue just on the back here, and leave this open, and you could actually have a tuck spot where you could add some small tickets, a small ephemeral card, some piece of memorabilia. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and make it flat today because that's my goal here, is just to make it as simple as possible and still make it beautiful. Okay, that's a butterfly. I like it. Now, my butterfly, I may let hang off the side. I've got to think about that. I like that color. I'm going to hold that one out because it kind of blends. I'm going to look at a couple more designs. I have so many butterflies. Now, there's one that's real shiny. Well, I really like that. Let's see what he looks like if I put him on here. And where you planted now. Okay. Well, we'll consider that on something else. Now, guys, I don't think there's any need going on. I really just like this butterfly, and I'm going to put him right there. To put my butterfly tray back up here in my box so they won't get lost. Same thing again. Now, I could make him thicker again, but for the sake of the time on the video, I'm not going to do that. All right, because I want to get this card done and out of the way so I can show you a couple more styles using them. All right, so, but like I say, you could make him larger. Let's let him hang over the bloom just a little bit. I like him going that way. Okay, so there's that card finished on the front. On the back, you can do a simple thing. Since there's a rose on the front, I'm going to look and just see real quickly if I can find some kind of a little rose that's very light color. I should have a pile, and if I can't, I'll just use another. You know what? I'm going to use just another. I don't know another butterfly or not. Just something simple on the back. Primroses are cute. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just another little rose in that bottom corner. I don't have any pink on that front. I'm not going to use pink. I'm not going to use, well, blue would be fine because the basic thing is blue. This is the hardest part for me. It's finding what I want to go in certain spots. I like this piece right there. It's tall and slender. All right, we're going to actually grunge it up a little. I don't like the white spot just being so stark. So we're going to grunge it up. And we're going to glue that down the back corner. You don't have to do anything on the back because it is a journaling spot. I just like to give it that little extra right there. But let's go for that. Okay. All right, so our first design is pretty much done. When we were planted, and that was just using a journal page and a line page and just some things that I have right here in front of me on my desk. All right, so that one's done. Let's lay it aside. We are going to next do this postcard style. All right, you're still using the same type paper. So let me see if I've got any that's got line prints on it. Let me grab some more. I might not have anything printed that's going to work, but we're going to try this one maybe. Let me see. All right, well, let's go with this. This is the kind of paper I use. When I did this type here, I just used papers that I didn't think would stand out really well by itself. So I'm not seeing any more that I've already got printed, and I don't want to print. The whole idea is to use what I've already got here. I might find something in my Alice in Wonderland. Let me just take one more breeze through this, guys. Most of the Alice in Wonderland has a lot of writing, and I don't want to cut that off. Oh, I found a page I like. All right, we're going to do this one. Okay, I like this one. All right, let's print it up. This is also from Street Child, and this is, what's the name of this one? Romancing the Sea. This is the name of this one, Romancing the Sea. And we're going to use this side right here. All right, so cutting this out. Oh, it's a beautiful day today, guys. I hope y'all having a beautiful day where you're at. All right, we've got that cut off. Put that label back up there where it belongs. Word art, say where you belong. For some reason, I'm trying to get the sniffles. It seems like it must be getting on allergy season time for me. All right, what I'm doing now, I am going to use one of the smaller cards this go round, which would be this size right here. I'm going to go ahead and it says mustard potato beet salad. No, thank you. Not a recipe I am at all interested in. You know, when I was younger, I loved to collect these recipe cards. I cannot believe that as much as I used to fight to find these in yard sales and all, that I'm sitting here using up my cards. So, hey, the good Lord knew that one day I was going to be doing junk journals. Not that I ever knew that way back then. Because that's been many moons ago, guys. Many moons. I'm talking, I started collecting these in my early 20s. And I am nearly 70, so I've been collecting these cards a long time, or collecting them for a long time. Okay, I've runched it up. Let's lay it up here out of the way. We're going to take this piece here, and we're going to fold it completely in half, like this. And then we're going to grab another piece of the line print. I think I got one piece big enough, so we're going to cut that one off right there and have that set inside for our back. All right, now I'm going to turn this card this way to get my length. And this is wider than what this is, but this was exactly folded in half, so I used it anyway. So we're going to glue it down and trim off that much of the card. All right, so let's just put it inside the side. I think we want to take it off that side over there. Leave the shit there. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up and glue the card. Now, you know you don't have to go all the way up because you're going to cut some of it off. But do get along these edges. You do want that glue to adhere tightly to those edges. And everything's trying to slip on my arms here. And y'all see the importance of keeping my workstation right here kind of clear. But this is my video station. I've got a work table over here to my right. I got work table over here to my left, but y'all can't see if I had to work over there. So I do have plenty of workspace when I'm not videoing, guys. So don't let me sound like I am pathetically in a cramped little spot. I am not. My whole craft room, my craft room is a 12 by 65 mobile home that's been remodeled into my craft shop or craft room. And then I have a 12 by 50 that is been gutted completely out, re-insulated, new flooring put down, and we've got it wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling shelving, and that's my supply room, and it is packed full. So as you see, that is why I am having to use up supplies. My husband won't let me buy no more till I use up a bunch of what I got. So that's the problem. Of course, I still buy on Etsy. I will always buy on Etsy. And some Amazon. I have to have ink and things like that. Okay, now, when you get to this point, you've got excess hanging out both sides here. You can do one or two things. You can just leave it because you're going to, you've already got your back there. We didn't need that. Well, we might. We didn't need that because I forgot we're folding this over, and that's your writing spot there. You can leave it like that if you want, but I want it to be a little shorter. So if I'm going to cut the sides off, I go ahead and do it at this point before I glue the back down because I can't see where to cut it if I do not. I hope that made sense, you guys. I won't know where to cut it if I don't go ahead and do it at this step in the game. But if I'm not going to cut it, I would just fold it over and glue it down and have a little bit longer envelope here, or what I call postcard size piece. All right, so now we're ready to glue this side down. Hope I'm not boring you guys to death. I'm bored myself to death today trying to do this video 5 times, but I feel like, it's just, I know y'all have seen people do this stuff over and over, but somebody might happenstance onto my video and get an idea that they haven't gotten from somebody else, and I hope so. That's my goal. Of course, my goal also is I hope you'll subscribe and watch my videos and go to my Etsy site and my website and my coffee site and my buy me a cup of coffee site and look at my products that I design myself. I am a digital designer, so I do design a lot of this stuff myself. Right now, I have chosen to use other artists' designs, though. But we will do some using some of mine at some point. All right, let's trim all the excess white off. We don't want white peekabooing out the sides. All right, so we've got that one done. We're 30 minutes into the video. I told my husband 30 minutes, so, but I still got one more design I want to give you the basics on when I get through with this one. All right, so we've got that. I'm not going to, let me trim that little edge. I saw some white. I am not going to corner this because I'm making this into like a postcard style, so I'm not putting a corner on this, but I am going to stamp this. Let me ink it up a little. And I'm trying to curl because the ink's still really wet, and I'm curling it in my hand, so I need to flatten it out and get on the paper here. So just bear with me just a second while I squeeze and flatten. Do not want it to curl. All my parts fairly flat and nice. Okay, we're going to ink this up. Now, you may not love it this way because when you flip it, you have to flip it like this to stay upright. It's not this way because it goes upside down. You have to flip it this way to see it right. If that is the case, and that annoys you and you don't like this when you flip it this way, it being upside down, then cut it off here and make it two pieces and glue it on separately. There is a remedy for it. It doesn't have to be done my way. I'm just doing it the way that I can do it the quickest and fastest and get it over with. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to make this a postage stamp looking type thing. This is going to be my front. This is going to be my back. This is where you write at, possibly. All right, let me find my stamps that I want to use. I don't want a great big one. Okay, I want to use my airmail stamp. This is one I use frequently, and I want to use this one right here. So this is a 2. I'll lay it aside just for a second. Reach up here and grab my block. My block should be right there. That's my small one. I think that'll be big enough. Yeah, that's big enough. All right, so we're going to pop this one on first. Now, another thing you can do at this point, I'm going to put my airline on. And that way, okay, that's correct. Okay, that's that. I have got some postage stamps too, to really make it more, in line of what the authentic look you're trying to get, even though it's not authentic. You can grab some of your false stamps, fake stamps, whatever you want to call them. I kind of like that green, even though the background's blue, but everything I have in blue, it looks like to me, are very large. I don't want it to overpower. No, there's a small one. Hey, that's even better. All right, let's go with that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grunge up my stamp a little. As you notice, I try to grunge everything. Let's post it onto the front first, right here, on the edge. Okay, the stamp box back up. Open this little baby here, and let's get some ink on the stamp. Ink it good. I want to make sure I don't have too much on my block in case it hits my thing. So do wipe it off. All right, now I'm going to stamp over that and over the stamp just a little bit to make it look like a postmark there. Okay, this again is where my whites come in. I'm not going to set my stamp aside and tell you guys, I'll just clean it up later. No, I don't do that. I'm sorry. Yes, that's another reason it takes me a little bit longer to do, but I want my stamps clean so that when I want to use them the next time, I don't have to sit here and fight myself over my stamp. So put it back on its little place. Grab my next one, put it on, and this one's a little harder to tell. I got my glasses this time. I didn't have it last time I made one of these, so I can see which way I want it to go. I'm thinking this way. Okay, so it looks like it's supposed to go that way. We're going to stamp it right here, and we're going to come right over here in this corner and pop it again. Okay, there's my 2 stamps on. Wipe this clean, dry it off. and put it back together. And this is just me trying to learn to stay organized, guys. And it is not easy. I have always been a messy crafter, and it has been a real struggle to make myself put stuff up. But I have learned the hard way to get it done the first time, and that way I don't have this problem later. All right, on the back of this one, we also did a stamp. I'm not sure that we need one here, because we got the cargo stamp there. I really don't think I'm going to do anything else to the back. If you don't like the design, though, you could come in here and put some more writing space in here. I'm not going to do it. I like this just like it is. It's a piece of ephemera. I see a little bit of white peeking out right there where I didn't trim it good, just a tiny slither. So that was my inker. Make sure it's edged. All right, so that was done. That one didn't take long, guys. So that's where the styes came from. So there's number 2 down. And we're going to briefly go over the next design that we had, which was, I got to find it, which was this one. And I'm going to pull out the pieces in there because we're not going to have time to make one, but we will in another video make those. It's just very simple to see what those are. But we're going to do the pocket design. The pocket design was done with the same size card. Oh, excuse me, the yellow card, the larger one. My goodness, I do not like the way it's shaking. I don't know if you can shake it like that. It's because I'm in a hurry, because I know my grandbaby's going to wake up any minute now. All right, so what I did, no specific size. I really didn't to make my pocket. I just folded it over where my hands would fold it, and I made my pocket. Now, I use my fingernails. My fingernails are very strong, and I use them a lot. But anyway, that's my pocket there. So now, we grab some design. What do we want to put on there? I don't know which... Let me see if I got any more garden. I know I got a lot of nautical. I don't have a lot of nautical, I'm hoping I got another bloom page. But I might have used them up. I have really been making these. And like I say, after trying to do it 5 times, I've used up pretty much a couple of designs here. Oh, there's one. That's exactly what I wanted. All right. Good Lord is with me. Let's put that over there. I don't want anything to happen, so I'll just get it out of my way for a minute. All right, we're going to decide what we want, and I really like the flowers part. But I really also like a lot of the wording. All right, let's go with that. I'm going to go with this side here because it's got a lot of mixture, which looks like it's already well collaged. I like that. We're going to go with that. I wish I had some of these clipped out. I had some, and I don't know where they are right this minute. I'm not going to fight because, like I say, I've already gone a little over with this video, further than I wanted to go. And it's been more than 30 minutes, so I'm about sure my kids are going to start saying, okay, Grandma, it's 30 minutes is up, because I made them promise to stay awake for at least 30 minutes. We're going to at least get this basic done. We may not get it all decorated, but I'm going to probably get the basic done. All right. Let's set this bloom aside. We may want some more of that. And we're going to come in here. And I'm just going to glue the whole thing, I think. No, I'm not, because I do not want to lose that dragon edge. Well, I don't have to have that. Dragonfly. Yes, I do. All right. Where the pocket is, I want to make sure. There. That's as far as I want to glue that down. I am just going to make myself a little mark so that when I get ready to put it on, that I don't come above this mark or below that mark. That's all I've done right there, just my own reference here. All right, so we're going to glue above this line all the way across. Tight across these edges again. A lot of glue to hold this. Probably more than I would normally do. But I have found if you don't use or write much glue on this, the paper has a tendency to bubble sometimes. And once you've got those edges glued down, you can't get to those bubbles in the center without ripping the whole thing up. So we're just going to take it while we're doing it and just really glue it down tight. And my paint scraper will spread it from there. Okay, so right along there, we don't want to go below that. We're going to try to stay along that edge. Get it here and see if I can make myself be straight as possible. I couldn't do without my grid map. Alright, got it on there where I want it, I think. I'm going to glue this. Alright, now I am going to cover this, but I'm going to do something a little different. You'll see it in just a second what I'm going to do. Just in case when you're putting something in the pocket, you don't want to see that yellow. You just don't want to see that yellow. So let's go ahead and cut this piece out. And that'll make a good piece on the stack, so that goes there. Alright, there. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece that I've already cut off, and just for the sake of keeping things kind of uniformed, I'm going to cut me off about a 1-inch piece. Is that about right? Let's see how much we got. Yeah, about 1 inch. That really worked out fairly decent. Okay, we're going to cut off about 1 inch using the good old ruler and craft blade method. Okay. I hope that did it. That did it. Okay, put that over here for scraps. We'll use more of later. And I'm going to glue this down, and this is just simply to make it so that the yellow is not showing. It has no real purpose because the pocket will cover that up. Just so we are straight about that. I love the dragonflies. They're really cute. All right, so yep, I like that right there. Anchor it down really good. Okay. Make sure it's going to close without doing a bend. I got a little bend there, so I got to slide it just a little more. We do not really want to bend there. Make sure that is straight. It is. Okay. Now we're going to trim this piece off. And trim that piece off and toss it. These are too tiny to save. Alright, so we've got that base down. Now we need to do our pocket. So what are we going to put on the pocket? Something cute. We can still take that same design, or we can take the other page. And I think I'm going to cut out part of the other page, which again is a little more than 1 inch. This time it's going to be 1.25 inches. So I'm going to trim off some of this, and I'm going to use some of this page, although I hate to use it, but I can always reprint if I need it for something else. This would have made a beautiful card, but probably that top part's at what we're after anyway when we go to make the card. Again, the source of my prints right here are Screech Owl Studios. She's on Etsy. And I want to do 1.25 inches, and I want to absorb that dragonfly into my design. And so we're 1.25 inches or thereabout. So the first piece I'm going to cut is going to be right about here. Craft knife, getting a little dull, so I don't want to rip my page. Even if I have to do it, trim it twice to make sure I've got it. Definitely save that. Okay, so at 1.25 inches, we need to lay it back up there, and we need to come right up here. And I am going to cut it a little more than 1/4, and I'm going to wrap it over, guys. So I'm going to be safe, what you call better safe than sorry. I am going to come right up here and cut it 1.5. Then I will wrap it over, and it'll give me a little bit of a protective edge where stuff is being slid in and out of the pockets. Now that is just simply a matter of preference. You do not have to do that. Not necessary, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I love the dragonfly. Turned out really pretty. All right, so let's glue him on. Notice I have not glued the pocket down yet. That's the last thing I'm going to do, because I'll leave the pocket open so I can clip the edges and trim and things of that nature. All right, so let's get that dragonfly right in there. Let's pop this flap up so that you can actually tap it against the table. Make sure it's completely down. Adhere it. Then I'm going to glue back here right along this edge. I would not glue my card. I would glue my paper so that I don't get glue anywhere that I don't want it, and that way I won't glue the top of my pocket down. I'm going to flip this over like this. Just start working your way. And if you're having trouble with it, you can take your bone folder and just kind of slide it across back around the edge of that card right there. Get you a good tight spot. Push it down, and I highly suggest, it's just a suggestion, do what you want, but I highly suggest that you double check and make sure you don't have any glue, because when you pull this up, you do not want this glue. And as you see, that wrap over gave me a nice clean pocket edge. Okay, open it back up. I'm going to cut this edge off here, cut this edge off here, and I am going to punch my corner back out using my large corner punch. There and there. So now we've got the front base of the pocket done. We are going to now glue this edge close as we can to that edge. Put it down. I go from the inside out so that I squeeze out, not in, because that narrows the amount of space you have in your pocket. Go towards the outside. Okay? Wipe my desk off a little. And y'all, I'm not a clean freak, so don't think that I am. I just want it to stay clean while I do it. Got a corner up here we didn't get a while ago, so we're going to fix these corners here, and we are using the large corner punch. I got to try to make it stay out long enough to get it into that punch so that I can measure it. And all these things, all these little tricks here, you'll get the hang of as you're going along. You'll learn them. All right, so that pocket is done, the front. We still want a journaling space on the back, and that's not large enough, so we're going to reach into our drawer. I can go with the blue or I can go with the cream. It doesn't matter. This is a blue. We're just going to stick with it. Okay, we're going to put our journaling spot down. Got to have them lines for this journal cards because this will go into your journal. Now, if you are going to just glue this down as a pocket rather than gluing it, using it as a journal card, you got a combination here. This is a pocket or a journal card. If you're going to use it as a pocket, then you got some other suggestions I can make here. This can be put into your journal, inside a pocket, inside your journal. No problem, okay? However, it can also be used as the pocket itself on a page and glued down here, here, and here on the back. And you can use this part up here when it's glued down as a pocket or a pocket this way. And because of the way this is got the goodness, these things are sticking. Because of the way that writing, I'm sorry, I can't get my words out today. I apologize. Because that writing is this way, this would be a fantastic pocket to put on as a journal page. You're using this side as your opening. It would be best on a left side page where this pulls out, and then you can build a card that has a tab on it. Just a suggestion, and of course, at some point in time when we start putting these things in the journals, you'll get to see me actually do those kind of things. All right, so this one is done, guys. Other than decorating it, it's done, and I'm not going to do a lot of decorating into it. I have got this beautiful card that's going to slide down in here for now. And so I don't really feel like I need to do a whole lot more. And the only thing I am going to do on the back here is find some kind of a pretty little flower to put in that corner. I don't like the green on that one. Again, it's a matter of rambling through what's on the front. What colors are on the front? We got yellows. And this is springy. I'm wanting to use this as a springy design, which now I like this one. Okay. And on my back, I think I'm going to, I'm looking at it, guys. Let me get my bearings on how I want to do this. I want it on that corner. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on that corner. I want my yellow flower coming kind of out in that corner. My pink is going to hang over for just a short few minutes here, like this. Then we're going to come back to the front and we're going to trim that off. And the pocket card is done. Slide your piece in it that you wanted to put in. And I have not really got a good seal here, so we're going to try again. Okay, and put the card in. And that is a pocket card using the large yellow divider. So that's what we got done. What I was able to show you on this video today was a simple pocket card using the recipe card. And again, this can be a pocket for the book that can be either glued around the back here, here, and here, and made a pocket to go in this way, or glued here, here, and here, or make a pocket this way, or vice versa. Okay, so that's a very versatile piece right there. Then we've got the postcard style that we just did, and we've got just the standard card. Okay, at the end of this video, I will be doing just a silent video, a shot of the rest of the cards. So for now, NanaKaye is going to say goodbye. Watch the rest of the video, see what we have been able to produce with using the journal cards. Might give you some idea. I'll kind of take it through slow. It's almost an hour video just to done 3 cards. So anyway, let me just say my bye-bye for now, and please subscribe, share my videos, and please, if you do something, if you make something with one of my designs or using my idea, please comment and let me know. If you want to send me a photo of it, it would be awesome. I'd love to see what you do with my work. Again, NanaKaye signing off, and have a blessed day. Okay, guys, let's look at what we've done today off camera, just so you can see just some variety of ways you can use the recipe cards to make journaling cards for your junk journals. This is a very plain one. I have not done any element designs. This is just going to go in my file above my head or right above my front here, and I will put elements on it when I decide what kind of book it's going into. That's a very blank, plain. You could really mass make these, because all it is put this on, and you're done until you're ready to put your elements on. Okay, here's one that's got elements added. You got some texture here. You can feel the lumps where extra layers have been added on. And I've got die cut on this one and clip art. And then just my simple line on the back. Another postcard that we've made using the postcard stamp on it. This one has some bling off to the side here, and clip art, and some more of the die cuts, clip art on the back. This has a beautiful lace trim die cut with some floral die cuts, a label. Again, you feel texture when you touch this. That's important to me, is that you've got some interactive texture and things on here for people when they purchase your journals. Okay, here is one made out of the large yellow one. So it's a larger card. This one's made out of the small one. And as you see, this one is turned this way. So we can decorate them up this way or this way to get different size and different looks for the cards. Again, just clip art added, little pieces of elements here and there. Another postcard type that we just cut the page out, folded in half, and made a little smaller. This was using the smaller card upright, right here. This is another pocket one that we did. I've got die cut there. This I made into a little piece of chip art. This is a piece of chip art. And another little card that just clips into there. And I've got a real paper clip on it. And then some more of just the simple ones where we just actually just folded the page over and made the card like that. Real simple design, but it's very nice in your lots of journaling spots here. This one is using some of my own elements. This is my newest, this is my new Winter Blooms collection. I will be putting it on Etsy soon. That gives you the theme. That's a hint to what's coming. Here's a nautical design. Really cute. I love the way the Stress Oxide vintage photo has made these look real old. They look really old, even though we just made them today. This is one we just done that was in the video, so you can see this being made in the video. And this one was made in the video, so you can go right in there and look at that one be made. And this is one we done earlier today. That's the one we just did in the video. And this is one we done earlier, which is the same concept with a card that sticks in. Different color writing spots. Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. It's NanaKaye signing off for this beautiful Saturday in February. I think it's February 24th. So I hope to see you again soon. Please like and share my videos. Please subscribe. It really will help me a lot if you'll subscribe. And stay tuned. We're going to be coming back with more tips and tricks. I keep saying trips. I'm not going on a trip. Tips and tricks of trade with NanaKaye. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.